Hello and welcome back to A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love, is the title of the show on Enlightened World Network. So welcome wherever you've joined me from today. So we're on lesson 254 of the workbook, and I really love this because I've said on a couple of these videos, and I'll say again that life can be likened to one big, giant meditation. Even if we're doing 1,000 different things, which of course we are, we're inevitably doing many things, involved in many projects and pulled in one direction or another in the world, still we have the opportunity, if we so choose, to see life as an ongoing present moment with a choice to make: love or fear. Lesson 254 says, "Let every voice but God's be still in me." Let every voice but God's be still in me. And yes, that does mean, at least temporarily, let every voice but God's shut up. If you want to, you can see it that way. What we mean by that is that we have many, many thoughts, more than we can count, more than we can actually process, many more than we can actually process and deal with. And if you take a look, really, honestly, most of them have to do with the physical body and or something that might happen to it in the future or something that happened to it in the past. We obsess over past and present thoughts. We obsess over thoughts of separation. We really do. We really do when we think about it. And this is where spiritual practice comes in for us, is it gives us an opportunity to stop the chatter and think about it. Anything that has to do with a separate sense of self, us versus them, one group against another, anything like that is of the ego. Anything that we see as separate, cut off, is an ego-based thought. It's a fear-based thought. Whether you feel like you're afraid or not, that's all right. Now, you might really well, and you might not. So whatever that looks like for you in the present moment, this is all about choosing loving thoughts. It's choosing love. It's choosing God. It's choosing light. When else but right now? There is no other time. There is no other time. So a question for all of us then becomes, what do we want? Really, truly. You could ask yourself, do I really want the peace of God and nothing else? We have multiple opportunities when ego-based thoughts arise to set them aside. They're not an opponent, remember. This is a very important point, that we can't make of them more than they are and expect to heal. We really can't, because if we make these thoughts an opponent, that's what the ego does. It separates and it creates dichotomies, doesn't it? Separation. Us versus them, me, it. I have an opponent. We operate in the world as though we have to have an opponent. That's almost like a government with a big military budget, not naming names. One stands out, that needs to have an opponent in order to properly function. We don't have to be that way. Really, we don't. Not just collectively, I mean, but individually. You don't have to adhere to the thought system of the ego. Question is, do you want what it would bring? Do you want what suffering would bring? And as long as you answer yes by your thoughts, words, and deeds, then the peace of God eludes you, as it does for all of us, myself included, right? That's what it does. It's either total or not at all. Love is maximal. All expressions of love are maximal. It's total. So either we choose it or we don't. So when we allow every voice but God's to be still in us, we have a very different experience, don't we? You may have had glimpses of this, and if you haven't, don't worry. One day, maybe today, you will. And practicing these ideas, these daily ideas in the workbook for students will go a long way toward that. It's mind training. And life is a big, giant meditation. As I mentioned at the outset, it really is just like this. In a formal seated meditation, whether it's guided or not, there is an object of meditation. One focuses on either the breath or sound, or if you're participating in a guided meditation, you pay attention to the sound of the guide's voice and or music, right? You may be paying attention as an anchor to sounds that you hear all around you. Right. When we notice, the point is when we notice that we're distracted, awareness, when we notice we're distracted, we bring our attention and awareness back to the breath, to sound, to the object of meditation. These workbook ideas are all very short, and they most certainly can serve as an object of meditation, if you will. When you notice that you're distracted, carried away by thoughts about the past or future, yesterday's lunch, tomorrow's business meeting, whatever happened in 1989 on August 25th that you can't let go of, might want to start, right? Or if you're obsessing about something that may or may not happen 3 months from now or 3 years from now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that we're usually somewhere else. We're not present in the present moment. We're usually not present. Doesn't take a rocket scientist, doesn't take a multiple PhD. You don't have to have every certification in the book from one accredited institution after another or accredited spiritual centers after another. You don't need all of that. All you need is honesty with yourself. That's all. Because I'll tell you what, if you're willing to go there, you're a long way down the road already. So when you notice that you're carried away, bring your attention back to the idea for the day. Try that. Try that, right? Let every voice but God's be still in me is that idea for the day. Now, if you find yourself in another part of the workbook, doesn't matter where you are, let that daily idea serve, if you so choose, as an object of meditation for you. Whenever you notice you're distracted, bring your awareness back. Bring your awareness back to what you want deep down, and that's the peace of God. Life is, in fact, a living, breathing, waking meditation, and this is but one way. Really, it's just one way that you could choose to experience it that way. Remember, we're choosing our own adventure here, guys. It really is. It's like the books. Choose your own adventure. If you choose love, turn to page 223. If you choose to have an opponent, turn to page 189. And you don't get to read the description first, but you know what the outcome is. We know what the outcome is. That's why we're seeking deep down what we're seeking. It's why we're seeking peace deep down. We know each and every one of us has that gut level, beyond gut level. That's just a term. We have this intuition. So tap into that is my invitation to you today. Choose to see life as an ongoing meditation. When you notice yourself carried away by ego-driven thoughts, just let them go. You don't have to follow after them with a sword brandished or a pistol and try to defeat them. And that makes them real, see? They're not real. And just acknowledge that. Bring your awareness back to the day's idea. Just like you would in seated meditation. If you're focusing on the breath, you notice yourself distracted, just gently bring your awareness back. Let all the other stuff go. This is where real, we call it progress. It's where real progress is made on the path. In reality, there's nothing to progress to. We're letting things go so we can experience the beauty, the power, the truth of who we really and truly are. So I invite you to do that with me, won't you?